All right, so I'm going to record a session. Okay, so we all have VS Code installed or Android Studio installed. So today for the purpose of this session, we are going to use VS Code, Visual Studio Code. So you can open your Visual Studio Code. Let me close this. Let me first of all delete this particular project that I have over here. So okay, cool. So first of all, since we all have VS Code open, you need to go to View. You go to View, you select Command Palette, and then you can start typing Flutter. You see New Project, Change SDK, Clean Project, Get, but then we are interested in New Project. Flutter is to New Project. That's what we are interested in. So you click on that one. You select that one. You see Application, Model, Package, Plugin, Skeleton, and others. We are also interested in application. We are going to create an application rather. We have these modules and other things. We will learn them later, but then for now, we are restricting ourselves to Flutter applications. That's what we want to build. We want to build a class attendance for the mobile group. So you're going to build an application. We select an application. And then it will ask us, it needs to open a dialog. If you're using Windows, I'm using Mac, that's why I have this open. So if you're using Windows, it will give you another dialog like this, same, and asking you where do you want to place your project. So you can place it in your D drive, your C drive, anywhere. So for me, I'm going to place it in my documents, in my project folder, and the Flutter, and I'll select that particular folder. So when you are done and you come back, it will ask you to create or write the project name. So you need to give the project a name. So for the purpose of this session, we are going to create a class attendance application. So let me name it class underscore attendance. And mind you, project name, we don't include capital letters. We don't include, for Flutter doesn't accept capital letters. So we use only small letters for it. So when you're done, you just have to hit enter on your keyboard and it will create the project for you. So let's wait, it creates for us. So who is able to do? Who is able to create his projects? Who is able to create his projects? Hello? I'm going to create a new one. Once again, you go to View, you go to Command Palettes, you search for Flutter, you select New Projects, you select Application, you select the folder in which you want to save your project in. So it should be of choice. And I'll say, let's say I'll name this one also Mobile Attendance. I'll hit enter. And it creates this project for me. Who is able to get to this point? If you want to share your screen, you can also share your screen to share us what you have on your screen. Provided you are watching from your machine, you can do so. Who is able to get to this point? Creating the Flutter project. No one.
Network.
Come again. Okay, so we will continue. So this project, when it's being created, as last time James went through with us, it has a lot of files in there. But then for now, what we are interested in is the one which is called the LIB, the lib, or the library folder, the short form of library, which is LIB lib. And inside the lib, we have one file, only one file called the main.dats. And that is the file which is being opened currently, as you can see. So this is the file that we are interested in, the main.dats. That is where the application starts to run from. So you remember when we were learning when we were doing the introductions, we thought of main, public static main, args, and those things. So those are the functions or the main entry point of the application. That's where the application runs from. You know, when you take WhatsApp, for instance, you need to click on the icon and WhatsApp will open a particular page first. After opening that particular page, you can now navigate to go to other pages. So for every application, it has got an entry point. There's only one entry point, and when you go there, you can now navigate to other pages that you want. So every application opens to one um, particular screen, so that from that screen you can now navigate to other screens. So for us, the main.dats determines which page that we need to run, and this is the main entry point of application. So if you look at our main entry file, you see that it has the void main. If it were to be Java, you see it to be public static void, I think main, and it will have some arguments, strings, something. Args, and it will do something like this. But there's not Java. This is Dats. The language that we're using for Flutter is Dats. So our main entry point is this. This whole thing over here, all these are we can take them from here. They are no more important. We can take them from here. And this will be like our main entry points of our class. So if we were to take all these and it will be left with only this void main. So this is where it will run our application. And here we can input the type of application that we want to write here, the screen that I want to write here. So assuming we are creating a screen and we are naming it, let's say the screen is called, let's say, login. We will need to just call our login here. And that's all, and this application will run. When we run this application, it's going to give us just an empty screen because this class or this particular screen that we've created has nothing in there, and it's going to give us an empty page. But for now, let's revert to what we had previously. and try to run this application. So for me to run this application, last time I think James taught us 3 ways of running an application. So for me, I'll go to this particular button over here, run and debug. I'll click on run and debug. But first of all, you need to check the device you want to run your application on. I've connected my phone to it, so it's showing my phone that I can run it on my phone. If my phone is not connected, it will show me Chrome here. If I have simulators and other things here, I can also run it on the simulator. But for you, for your sake, choose Chrome Web. If you have Chrome installed. If you have Google Chrome installed, you can choose Chrome, and you can click on the run button for it to run for you. So let's wait whilst it runs. Can you all see my screen?
No, please.
Can you see my screen now? Or you want me to stop sharing? Let me stop sharing and share again.
Okay.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay, that's nice. So there's the application right now which we've created. The application, what it does is this application is not doing anything. It just has a button and it has a text with a value there. So that whenever we click on the button, it will tell us that, okay, we've clicked on this button once. When we click on it again, to tell us we've clicked on this button twice. So as many as we click on this button, the value will be changing. And this is the application that we've created. So Flutter is very simple in such a way that if we just created it has a template in there that allows you to create the project in a simple way and in a fastest way. So right now we have an application that we can show it people that, okay, fine, we've created an application that when you click on a button, it will be giving you the number of counts of clicks that you've done. And there's an application that you can run on your mobile phone. Currently, I'm running it on my mobile phone. So if you are using Android and you want to run it on your mobile phone, I think you need to go to settings, look for I forgot. I think look for about device. Who is trying to do that so that you like I can guide you so that you do that? Who is trying to do that? No one. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, Michael is trying to do that. Okay, cool. So go to your settings. When you go to settings, check whether you have a menu called developer options. If you don't have developer options, go to about device. When you go to about device, check for build number. Can you all see build number? When you see build number, click on it. I think 7 times or so. Yeah, yes, be clicking on it 7 times until you have a message that you're already a developer or you are a developer now. Is it done? So when you go back from about device, you should be able to see another option on your settings called mobile. I think developer options here. You should be able to see developer options now on your settings. So when you go there, when you open developer options, you will see USSB debuggable. It will be off. You just have to switch it on, and that's it. And you can connect your USB cable to your phone, and you connect it to your machine, and now you can run the application on your phone. If you have any challenge, you can let me know so that we help you do that. So let's go back to our application. So now we are now going to start with today's lessons. Today we are going to start with the structure or the feature of an app, of an application. Can you see my mobile phone right now, the device or the app that we have right now? This app has got the top here. The top here is called app bar, that is application bar. This app bar is normally we see it in most of the apps. Some of the apps they hide their app bars. Some of them also they show the app bars. So this one is called app bar. So when you look at this code over here, when we go to this my app, you see that we have let me go to the home page. You see this app bar. That is what is being shown at the top here. Okay. Can you see? Can you see it now? Okay, cool. So this is the app bar. And the app bar is what is showing at the top here. And beneath the app bar, we have a white area. That is the most biggest parts of the whole application. And that's what we call the body. That is the body. And in the body, you can have a lot of widgets. When we talk of widgets, widgets are like the building blocks in Flutter. So anything that you see here is a widget. The app bar is a widget. These text that you see here, they are all widgets. The button here is a widget. The icon that you see here is a widget. So if you want to do anything in Flutter, it's like you need to create a widget. And it's the widget that you see that you can feel and touch. So we will be developing some of the apps right now. We will then deeper into it. So the features over here, the top here is called the app bar. The white area is called the body of the application. This one, of course, is a button. So we call it a floating button. The reason why we call it a floating button is it can be at anywhere. It can be at the right corner. It can be in the center. It can be at the left, and it has this round corner. These round curves. That's why we call it a floating action button. And it's different from the normal button, which has the rectangular shape. This one has got the curve. So that's why we call the floating action button. For the purpose of the session today, we want to learn something about the app bar and also learn something about the text widget, the app bar widget, the text widget, and the floating action button widgets. So we will go back to our code. Sorry, we'll go back to our code. Let's go and delete this whole thing from here, and let's start to create our own application. So now, if you have your code, you can delete everything and let it remain. Let only the main remains in your application with this particular method run app. So for us to be able to create a project, or for us to create a class, let's go to the lib. You can create a class here as they did, but then we want to make our code very clean. So let's go to the lib, and you just have to right click and tell them that you want to create a new file. So for us, let's say let's call it profile page. Profile page. Since it's in that, you can add that .dat to it. If it were to be Android Studio, you don't need this. But then for us, let's do this profile page. So it will create an empty page for us. Nothing is here. So we are now going to create and design our page. So let's go to back to the main .dat, and let's put here that it should run this page for us. So we will put the profile page. So let's first of all create the class first. So for us not to be able to type everything, the public profile page, state, extends, stateful widget or stateless widget, and other things. These IDs, when we talk of IDs, the Visual Studio Code is an ID, Android Studio is an ID, like you have a lot of IDs. So this Visual Studio Code is very intelligent that if you start typing STLS, when you start typing STLS, it means you want to create a page or a screen. So it will just give you, and if hit enter, it will create like the skeleton for you. So now what we have to do is in between the class and extends, we just have to write the name of the class, which is called the profile page here, and that's it. So we have this underlined here. We just have to. It means he says classes can only extend other classes. Try specifying a different superclass or removing the extends clause. So here the stateless needs a particular. Since we are using the dat main here, you know all these things comes from this particular library. You can't write everything from the space. Flutter has got something called library. Library is where, let's say, a repository, or let's say a box in which we have everything that you need from there. So we have the material library, and we have the Cupertino library. Last time, James talked of the material library, which is something that is being designed by Google himself or themselves. So if you want to use anything from the material library, it means you are using things from Google. If you want to use things from Cupertino library, it means you are using it from Apple. So Apple uses the Cupertino and Google uses the material. But then for the purpose of this, we need to use the material. So let's copy this, that we want to import Google's material library into our project so that we can start using some of their features. So always the import should be at the top here. You paste your import. The moment you paste, all the red lines will no more be visible, and it means this stateless is being found in the material library. So when we talk of library is like normal library. You know, libraries consist of a lot of books, a lot of things over there. So Google has created all these things over there. So the moment you say import means bring me this material library into my project and let me start using some of the things that they have. So stateless widget is some of the, let's say, some of the classes that are found in material library, and you can start using them. So let's delete this one from here. We don't even need it. So let's say the profile page. Let's go to the main.dat, and let's say now, let's call our profile page. So we are done. So when we click on run this project, it's going to run this profile page for us. and we can navigate to the profile page. And this is our profile page. You can see that this one is extending stateless widgets, relent of inheritance. The stateless widgets means it's going to create an empty page, which is like a static page. If you click on this button that should show values over here, it's not going to like reflect. It's a static page. We have two kinds of widgets or two kinds of screens or states. So here we have the stateless widget and we have the stateful widgets. So we can likewise say we want to use the stateful widgets. And the stateful widget rather is the one that in which if you want to, let's say, click on this button and you have, let's say, text here, you want the text to be reflecting and changing other things. That's why you can use the stateful widgets. But for us, we are going to use the stateless widgets rather. But then let's go back to the stateless widgets. We want to create static pages for now. Later, we will learn about the stateful widgets. So with these stateless widgets, when we learn something about inheritance and also we learn something about overriding, you remember, it means this build method is being found in the stateless widgets. This the class which we extended right now. We got it from the material library which Google provides. So this is something that this is a class that Google rather wrote, and we are just extending to use some of its features. So you remember we learned inheritance. So we have our page that we've created. We have our page that we've created, and we have it extended stateless widgets. So when we extend stateless widgets, we'll be able to use some of the features like the build. And this build actually is what is being called so that it can render the screen for us. So when you create any class, the build function or the build method is what is being called in the class so that it can render our screen for us. And within this screen, we have it returning or giving us that it should return just a container. We will learn about container later. Container is like normal container. Let that kind of idea comes to mind. Container, that is, you have something that is empty. This container is empty that you can put certain things in it. So if you run this particular project right now, this container is empty, nothing is in it. So we are not going to have anything. It is going to give us just a white screen and nothing else. So this container is empty, and we are going to have just a white screen. So let's run our project right now to verify. Who is confused up to this point? Are you getting it? Or it's quite confusing? So let's wait for our project to finish running. Sorry. Oh, I selected web rather. Let me run it on the iPhone. Sorry. Let me stop running it. Let me terminate it and run it again. So great. So we are having a blank page, which is a black page. So for us to be able to have this space, we are going to start creating our page. So it's like the container is empty. We don't have anything in here. So we are having this blank page, the dark page. So we have something called scaffold. I know you went to watch the video and they mention of scaffold. So the scaffold is like the normal scaffold that you have. So let's bring this one. The scaffold is something that is like a skeleton that can allow you to have the app bar, have the body, have the the floating action buttons and everything in there. So for us to start with it, let's clean the container and let's use the scaffold. And now let's run the app again. So this scaffold is empty and we are going to have in here the app bar. So the moment you start typing app bar, it will give you app bar, and let's write our app bar here. So we have this scaffold. This scaffold is like the skeleton of the app. So always you start with the scaffold. You can also start with the safe area. We will learn about the safe area later. But then let's start with the scaffold. So always your application will start with the scaffold. And this scaffold determines where you put your app bar, where you put your body, and the floating action button. So now let's run our project again. Sorry, let me close this. So all the issues at times, like the one the one that we just landed in, when you run your app and you have issues, you just have to try and resolve them. So when with Apple, for instance, I got that particular screen, it means there's an issue over there. And at times you just need to come to your console and look at the issue that they are talking of and they just resolve it. So it's true because we are not adding the material page. So when you look at this, for instance, he said no media query ancestor could be found starting from the context that was passed to media query of. This can happen because you have not added a widget app, Cupertino or material app widgets. And this clearly states that whenever you want to start your application, last week we talked of you need to make sure that your application uses the material app or the Cupertino one. So for us to run our application, first of all, let's use the material app before the scaffold, so that it will tell the application that okay, our main entry is the material app, and it means that we are going to use something from the Google library. So let's say that okay, fine, we want to make sure that our app conforms to the material app or the material design. We can likewise also use the Cupertino and other things. So let's make sure that our the app conforms to the material app, so that all the designs and everything also conforms to the designs from the material app. So as you saw here, even when you go to the main.dats, and when we undo here, let me show you this so that we come back to here. When we undo and you go back to this page, yes, exactly this page, you see that this is the main app that it was running. That is my app. And first of all, it will tell them the application that okay, fine, we have two kinds of, let's say, designs. Let me use design for instance. So we have two kinds of design. We have the material design, which is being designed by Google, and we have another one which is the Cupertino, which is designed by Apple. So when you look at Apple phones or Apple applications, how they are being designed, they are normally different from how Google apps also are designed. So let's look at this one. Since we want to use the designs from Google, we are going to, they use the material design as the main design that they wanted to use. So they said return material, and they brought in the title, the other things. So let's make sure we also have this in our page here. So instead of this, we will say that this one should be, or let's make sure we have our main app here, and let's clean this one from here. That will be simple for us to understand. So let's make sure this is the main app. It should follow the material app. Let's clean all this. We don't need them. And let's clean this one. And we'll make sure that the home. So let me explain this material app. So this material app is the design that we are going to use. Let's take this from here. We don't need a title. For themes, themes are normally what you set throughout. So assuming you want to set the style of your text, the colors of your text, and other things, you can set all these things. And the home is where you specify your first screen. Let's say I want you to start from, let's say, the profile page that we created. So this profile page, since it's inside this material app, all the designs that I'm going to design are going to conform to this material design. If I use the Cupertino, it's also going to conform to the Cupertino design. So when we run our app right now, it's going to run. Let me go to this profile page. Okay, fine, we have an error. We need to fix this first. Let me take this material from here. Okay, cool. So now let's run this. So over here, the main .dots, the code we have here is the void main, which is the main entry of our application. And this one, we said it should run we can take this const from here. It should run the my app. And there's the one that specifies, okay, fine, should it be the material app or it should be the Cupertino one? And this one specifies it. So when it comes to this class, which is the my app class, we can also take this one from here. We're not needed. This one is extending the stateless widget, so it's making use of the inheritance. And this stateless widget is also giving us this function, which is the build, so that it can run the whole application for us. And within this material app, we specify the theme. And in the theme, we specify the color of our application. And we say that it should run the first page for her. The first page should be the home, the profile page. That should be the home where the application opens to. So let's try and run and debug our code. So that's what basically we've done here, that it should run this application. And it should run that profile page for us, and that's it, and nothing else again. So it means it's going to run this profile page, which is conforming to the material design. And we specify the themes and the colors for this particular application that we are developing. So let's wait for it to build. You can see S code here build. If you are developing on iOS, you need to get this IDE called S code installed so that it can run from there. Since I'm building on iOS, that's why it's building from there. If I was to build from web, it wouldn't have given me the S code. If it was to be Android, it would have been different thing. So it's now installing. When it's done installing, it will launch the application for us. So it's giving us the white screen with our app bar, the blue app bar. Why is it giving us a blue app bar? Because we specify that the theme, that is, if there's no color specified, it should use the theme color. But then when we go to our profile page, now we have the scaffold being created. We have the app bar created. Today we are going to learn about the app bar. Our time is almost up. The app bar has got all these functionalities over here. So let's start with the app bar first. The app bar, we need to give the app bar a title or a text over here. So normally the app bar has got something called title. And this title takes a text widget. So if you want to create a text widget, you need to call this text widget. This text widget, and you pass in a string. So let's say the name of our app is called mobile attendance. And when we run it automatically, it will run here and give us mobile attendance. If I don't like the color of this app bar and I want to change the color, just go inside the app bar again. We have something called the background color. And I can use any of the colors here. I call colors dots. I have a lot of colors over here. So I can say brown. And automatically to change the color of our app. So over here, you can be designing and designing and designing until it becomes perfect for you. So over here, we have the app bar that we have created. And just writing this one, it just designs this whole thing for us. And it will give us this mobile attendance for us. So this app bar has also got, normally some apps have got the sliding, the left navigational drawers and other things. So if you want to create an icon here, that is on your left side here, we have something called the leading icon or the leading widgets. So you just call the leading, and I can create an icon. If you want to create an icon also, you just have to call the icon widget, which is called icon. And Google also have a lot of icons. And which icon do you want to create? You just have to call the icons, like as we are calling the colors. You have to call icons dots, and to give you a lot of icons. Let's say menu, and automatically it will give us this icon menu over here. So it's like our app is now becoming a nice app, which you can click on it. You can click on the menu for it to toggle and other things, but then you don't have any action here. It's not done anything. So we are still in the designing process. So we have the app bar. We can change the color again to any color that you want. You just have to come here. We do color dots. Let's say deep purple. Automatically, it will change. So that is the beauty of Flutter. You can design this page within some seconds, and that's all. So today we are learning about the app bar, just some small features, the title, the background color, and the leading icons. If you want to create a text widget, you just have to call the text and you pass in whatever text you want to pass, and it will create the text for you. That is the title of the app bar. If you want to create a background color, you just have to call the colors. We have all these are found in the material app library. So you just have to call the colors, and you can just design it and give it a color. If you want to create an icon, just call the icon widget, and you pass in icons dots, any of the icons that you want. I can pass any of them. So let me say I can even pass icons. Let me say I want the delete icon. Automatically the delete icon will appear here. But then let's use the menu because normally menus are normally used over here. Any questions so far? Hello. Are we all on this page? Is it confusing?
Interesting. I think it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, with me.
Okay, that's great. Are you able to get to this page? Are you able to design something?
No.
Or after
I
the
got home.
class?
I got home late, so I wasn't with my PC when the class started. So I
Okay.
just followed.
Okay. Is anybody able to create something? Hello. Okay. Okay, cool. So we have the AppBar. So when you click on any part of the AppBar and you just click on Control space, you see that the AppBar has got a lot of features or a lot of options that you can use. So over here, it has got a lot of things that we can learn them later. So we have something called the toolbar height. That is the height of this AppBar. Assuming you want, let's say, the height in which they've given you is not enough for you, and let's say I want to use like 200. You see, it has given me a bigger height over here. If you don't want to use the default one which they have, and you want to specify your own height, you can just call the toolbar height. So you can be playing along with it. Just go there, you just click on control space. You see it to give you a lot of features, a lot of different commands over there that you can use. We have the brightness, the center title, whether the title should be centered or it should not be centered. The elevation. Elevation means how this one is being shown. The AppBar is being shown on the whole page. So I can give an elevation like, let's say 20. That is, it should elevate or lift the AppBar a little bit from the main page. And you will see some shadows over there. So that's what we call the elevation. But we're not interested in the elevation. We are also not interested in the toolbar heights. So let's maintain whatever we have here. That is a standard one. The last one I think we will learn is the actions. Actions are normally, action normally when you have your apps, you can have some icons over here like the delete icon or anything. Which app? Let me see which app that we can have. So let's look at, let me go to WhatsApp, for instance. And let's go to the fonts web mobile. Yes, great. So you see WhatsApp here. WhatsApp has got this page. It has got the leading icon with 21 over here. It has got icon over here. It has got a text, front end mobile, into bracket PC. It has got these things, and it has got this icon, the video icon. It has also got the core icon. So we can also likewise design something like this. So if you want to design a page like this, we can choose the icon to be not the menu. We can, let's use the arrow. Is that the arrow back or one of them? Let me select the, normally just have to, if it was to be Android Studio, it will show you the let me see if I can see the icon. Okay, but Android Studio will show you the icon. James, is there a way you can see the icon before you select?
I think VS Code doesn't preview the icon.
Oh, okay, I see. So let me see this icon. Okay, great. So arrow back iOS new. So I think we have this one. And so we can have this one. But then I don't want to start showing the going into columns and rows. I would have designed that UI. So let's go back to the actions. So actions are those icons that I showed you, the video icon and as well as the call icon. Those are always found at the far right corner. So let me add just one action. Let me say the call icon. So let me call this icon. I'll call the icon and call the icons dot, let's say call. Or we don't have the call, let's say phone or anything. Bluetooth speaker, let's use Bluetooth speaker for instance. And it will show over here. We have it here. Likewise, and this we talked of array. Array is like actions. The actions is an array. That's why we have this particular brackets. It means you can have a lot of data in there. And let's say this one is let's say video call. So you see we have these icons here. We have the Bluetooth speaker, we have the video. So you can have these, all of them designed here, and they are simple. The moment you just call them, it just create them for you, and you can design them as to how you want them to be. So that's what we've learned about the app bar. We've learned the title, we've learned the background color, the leading icon, and some of the actions. You can space them because it seems there are no space around it and there are no space between the two icons. You can space them as well, but for now we will leave it like that. If you want to space it, you can use the size box. You can also use padding and margin. So these are the things that we wanted to learn today. Let's quickly go to the body because our time is fast spent. Let's quickly go to the body. So the body, that's what I thought. The body is the whole white space over here. So whatever you put here is, you need to put it in the body. So since we've created the app bar and we are done with it, in the scaffold has also got the body. And this body, let's say, text. Let's create a text for now. And a text widget always takes a string, and let's say hello mobile team. And let's do this. And it's been written here, hello mobile team. If I want to center it and put it in the center here, I can as well try that. Say when you put your cursor around any widgets, you see this bulb icon. When you click on that bulb icon, it will give you a lot of options what to do. I'll say if I wrap my widgets, that text widget with another widget or a builder or center. So I want to center it. So let me select center, and automatically it will surround this widget with center. So let me run it. And automatically it will just place our text in the center, and that's it. So this is the whole thing about Scaffold. Scaffold has got an app bar, it has got body, a lot. It has got a lot. It has got the bottom navigation. So normally some of the apps, let's look at WhatsApp for instance again. You see that WhatsApp has got this, there's another bar here which They have the plus. They have where you can you can type in. They have this icon over here and other thing. This whole bar at the bottom here is called the bottom up bar. It's called a bottom up bar. So the top here is called an up bar. The one at the bottom is called a bottom up bar. So because it's one at the bottom, it's called a bottom up bar. And the names, as you hear the names, it suggests what it wants to do. So for Flutter, it's like normal English. That's what they used to write. So you need to understand them. So we talk of up bar is always what you see at the top here. You can design it to suit whatever you want to do. And in between the up bar and the bottom up bar, the whole space here is called the body. That's where you can write whatever you want to write over there. And we also have another one called the floating action button. So for floating action button, if you start typing floating action button, it will tell you to create a new floating action button. And with this one, I can just do this. Then press a constant heart. Okay, fine. So let's create a new floating action button. Is it closed? Okay. And within this, and one thing about every widget, we have something called child. So let me go back to this one. You know, with this one, every widget has got a child property. So the center has got a child property, and whenever you want to summon another widget with another widget, it will automatically assign it to the child widgets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an assignment, create a project, a new project, give it an app bar, design it as in how you want it to be, and within the body, just create whatever you want to create. Just put a text over there and write anything over there. For the floating action button, we will learn the features later. Even with the body, we need to learn the columns and the rows and everything. Every mobile application is being designed in columns or either in column or rows. So you can have it vertical or the screens being arranged horizontal. You can't have diagonal or anything. It's always two. It's always horizontal or vertical. So we'll be learning those things also later. That will be in our next session. So for now, I'm leaving you to go and learn and design a mobile app which has got an app bar. And this app bar, you can design it to any preference of your choice, and also just have a body in there and just put something there as your body. After that, you can just take a screenshot and send it on a page, and that's it. Any questions? You can this debug banner over here. I think you can just take it off when you go to the main.dat. I think it's debuggable or something. Show debuggable banner, check and just set it to false so that it vanishes from there. So you can just tell the debug show check mode banner. You just set it to false, and this one vanishes. That banner vanishes. So I think our time is up. If you have a question, you can bring it up, or if you have any contributions as well, you can also bring it on board. Any questions? No question at the moment. Okay, cool. So we take it that everybody understands what we did today. We've created an application with an app bar. We've designed the app bar. We've created the body as well, and we've provided something to the body. We will be learning still the app bar into details, the body also into details. The whole job will be on the body. So for the body, we will take our time when we get to the body to learn everything. For the floating action buttons, we will come there, and also for the bottom app bar, we also get there and learn all those widgets into details. For now, concentrate on the app bar, design it to your choice, and just put something on the body, a text, anything on the body, and just take a screenshot and send it on the page. And I think that will be it for this session. James, do you have anything to add?
Oh, no, please. Except that from I think last week Monday's lesson, there were these links at the end of the slides. There was one particular link that leads to the Dart website. The Dart documentation. It's a blog post sort of that tries to summarize almost everything you need to know about the Dart programming language. Again, I'm reminding you to try and read the content of that link to to get you abreast with the Dart language you're going to be using in Flutter. Because if you don't know the language, some things will be slow for you to understand. So if you could try and go through that blog post. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Any questions so far? If no more questions, then we'll close here and we'll meet on another time. All right. Thank you very much for joining. See you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.